As a mom, we'll do anything for our children, but when you're in debt and stuck financially, where do you turn? And that's how you get relief from multiple debts. Take all your credit cards, store cards, medical bills, and other unsecured debts. Did you know it's never been easier to take multiple debts and merge them into a single affordable monthly payment without having to take out a loan or file for bankruptcy? Your debts won't magically go away, but if your debts qualify for this one thing, it could change your life. What is it? It's called debt resolution. So, what is debt resolution? And what could it do for you? Listen, do you remember back to 2008 when subprime mortgages were tanking and banks got a $700 billion bailout, but there was no relief for consumers facing financial difficulty? Well, now, fast forward to more than 10 years later, and history's actually repeating itself, but in reverse. Because now it's everyday people like you and me who are struggling with debts finally being thrown a lifeline. You see, banks, after the bailout, went on to make record profits from the unsecured debt market, and now they don't want to lose customers who have made them a fortune all these years. So, banks are making concessions or debt resolutions for people in distress. So, you're probably wondering, what exactly is a debt resolution? Well, a debt resolution gets consumers out of debt at an accelerated rate through an adjustment of interest rates or negotiated settlement for less agreed upon by both parties. Helping consumers get relief from debts without taking out a costly loan or filing for bankruptcy or anything like that. It's specifically for consumers who acknowledge that, something has changed with their finances and they need help and they need it really fast. So, what's being offered to those in need of relief? Now, don't get me wrong. What banks and credit card companies are offering is not a bailout and it's not a handout. A debt resolution is an honorable way out of debt to consumers who are overextended in debt. And just like the banks got the help they needed when they were overextended 10 years earlier. So you're probably wondering, why don't more people know about this? Well, not surprisingly, it's not advertised, but it is happening out there, and actually more often than you might think. In fact, if you're burdened by credit cards and other debts, there are two ways you can request relief, and we call them Plan A and Plan B. With Plan A, you call up creditors on your own. In fact, a recent survey reports that more than 75% of people who called up creditors to request relief were actually successful. Even if interest rates were only reduced by about 5% or so. But what if you're facing multiple high-interest credit cards and other unsecured debts, like maybe medical bills, and you're in need of some really serious relief? Well, that's where a structured debt resolution, or Plan B, may be your best option. So, what's the biggest advantage of a structured debt resolution? Structured debt resolutions are coordinated by debt relief providers who know the ropes. They have existing relationships with thousands of different creditors and are experienced in bundling debts to get the best possible resolution and savings for consumers in the shortest amount of time. The bottom line is that debt resolution is a way to not only continue to combine all your debts into one lower payment, but actually have money left over each month. And thanks to new laws to protect consumers, no upfront fees may be charged by debt relief providers, and no fees whatsoever may be charged until debts are either successfully reduced or resolved. And here might be the best news of all. We have created a free tool that makes it really easy for you to find out online right now at absolutely no obligation what a debt resolution could do for you and how much you could save. And all you have to do is click the upper right-hand corner of the screen or the lower left-hand corner. And here's what happens next. You're going to answer a few simple questions. You're going to first tell us about your current situation. Then you're going to enter the type of debt that you're facing, credit card, medical, etc. And number 3, you're simply going to estimate the amount that you owe. And in just minutes, you'll have completed your request for assistance to find out what a structured debt resolution could do for you. And all of this is free, with absolutely no obligation to find out how much you could save. But it's not going to happen unless you ask. So if you have anxiety or stress over how to deal with credit cards and other debts, you first have to simply just raise your hand and ask for help. And we've already helped more than 500,000 people in need of debt relief assistance, and we're ready to help you. So Click the upper right-hand corner of the screen or the lower left corner. It's only going to take a minute to take the first step to just put your debt worries behind you. So here's wishing you and your family the very best and a debt-free future.